11Alive News at 6 p.m. starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ron Jones. First on 11Alive, Cobb County crews battling a house fire for several hours this morning. That blaze broke out on Dawson Drive just off of Hermitage Road. 11Alive's Erica Murphy has more on how the cold temperatures made it tough to contain.
One of the biggest obstacles crews are facing are the extremely cold temperatures that have blanketed the region for the last few days. Some firefighters even slipped on the icy driveway leading up to the house.
The weather, when it gets this cold, just really freezes everything up and it turns it into a nightmare.
This fire has had crews here on the scene for several hours and even having to bring out other departments, including this vehicle that you see behind me. This is from the Department of Public Safety, and it is a mobile command unit that was brought in here to assist the crews that are still working on this house. The command unit is normally only used for SWAT situations, but it's now being used as a warming center today for first responders. And with the scene still active, Cobb fire officials say firefighters will have to be smart about how they work.
So we have to be very careful. We have to do methodical movements. We have to move our lines with strategic thought in that process.
Crews took several hours to work on the fire. The blaze started in the garage and now it's clear the home is a total loss with just the facade remaining. One resident says he heard a smoke alarm going off, which is being credited as the reason that both people inside escaped unharmed, but the family dog died in the blaze. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Reporting from Powder Springs, Erica Murphy, 11Alive News.
All right, let's get over to meteorologist Andrew Wilson to talk about this punishing cold weather. So, Drew, is there any relief in sight?
Well, thankfully, Ron, yes. We're going to have temperatures drop down to freezing one more time tonight, and then we'll be right back above freezing as we head throughout the latter part of the morning tomorrow, and we won't drop below freezing again the rest of the week. It looks nice out there. It looks warm, doesn't it? Well, no, it's still cold outside. You can see that we have a lot of clear sky overhead. All that sunshine got our temperatures into the lower 40s this afternoon, but now we are back into the 30s, and when you wake up tomorrow morning, we're talking about temperatures in the 20s. Right now, 38 degrees in Atlanta. We have 36 in Duluth, as well as Gainesville, right at the freezing point in Clayton, as well as in Dalton. By the way, we got above freezing today in Atlanta, but we didn't get above freezing yesterday. We went 40 hours below freezing here in Atlanta, so we're all pretty thankful that temperatures rose above it this afternoon, but it still felt pretty cool out there. Tomorrow morning, again, we'll be below freezing again, so make sure that you have the kids put on the thick jacket when they head out to the bus stop in the morning. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s out there, and then they'll rise again into the 40s tomorrow afternoon. Forecast track shows that. We get to about 25 for tomorrow morning. Very chilly, moving into the mid to upper 40s for the afternoon. Starting to see a little bit more cloud cover for tomorrow. It's going to be more partly cloudy compared to that mostly sunny sky we had today. And then Tuesday, things really start to change. We'll have temperatures sitting in the 30s to 40s for lows, seeing a few isolated showers out there, a lot of cloud cover, and that cloud cover is just going to continue to build in, and then our rain chances build in as well as we head into Wednesday and then into Thursday and Friday. Now, we're going to go on a big warming trend here as we head throughout this week. I mentioned tomorrow morning is going to be the last time we hit freezing for the rest of the week. Looking at Monday afternoon, 48, 52 for the high on Tuesday, 63 by Wednesday. We're going to be getting near 70 for Thursday and Friday. So a big surge in our temperatures, but again, our rain chances will be surging along with those. So you have to be ready for some of those showers, but at least we get the warmer conditions instead of having to deal with a wintry mix. No wintry mix across North Georgia this next week. No chance for it. Our temperatures are just too warm. You see that we're going to have just waves of showers and storms through Thursday, Friday, and yes, even continuing into the weekend. We're going to get anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rainfall from all of these rain chances, which should continue to just help push back the drought situation here in North Georgia. Again, very cold tomorrow morning, but warming up nicely, and then you see those temperatures again, man, back into the upper 60s for Thursday and Friday, and not even cooling off by much as we head into next weekend with highs remaining in the 60s.
Man, what a huge swing there, Drew. Thank you, sir. New tonight at 6, another water main break in Metro Atlanta. This is the second one this week. Crews are working to repair a main break on Coolidge Avenue. And they tell 11Alive the water outage is affecting 35 properties and 2 hydrants. Right now, there is no time limit on when this is actually going to be repaired, when it's going to be complete. Be sure to stay with 11Alive as we get the latest information coming into the newsroom. Also, new development tonight. Atlanta Fire and Police are working a death investigation. This is really bizarre. Last night, fire crews responded to a call about a man being on fire on the Interstate 75 southbound ramp near Central Avenue. Police say the man was severely burned when they got there and pronounced dead at the scene. Of course, we're going to bring you the latest details as they come in. And for the latest news and weather updates, make sure you download the 11Alive News app. It's free in your app store. Communities in Metro Atlanta are preparing to launch what is being called the annual point-in-time count. So this is where volunteers will be getting out and doing that physical count of those experiencing homelessness. And as 11Alive's Latasha Givens learned, it is a way to find out what it's going to take to help those in need.
Someone who's experiencing homelessness can look just like you.
Especially in Gwinnett County, vibrantly connected and known for its diversity and affluent cities. But officials say there's an unhoused population who lives here too, and they need to know how many there are and their specific needs. On Monday, Gwinnett County is conducting a point-in-time count that collects the number of unhoused people living in the county. This will help the county determine what resources are needed.
People don't want other people to know if they're homeless.
Carol Love, the director of the nonprofit Family Promise of Gwinnett, says the numbers are always higher than what's collected and they can change within one paycheck.
What we see is situational homelessness.
Just within the last 2 weeks alone, her organization has received 33 applications from families who are seeking shelter. Love says homelessness can happen to many families when they least expect it.
The truth is that about 50% of people cannot afford an unforeseen expense of $500. So many of us are living paycheck to paycheck and are at risk. It could just be 2 to 3 months. You think about your child gets sick. If you are on hourly pay, you miss 2 weeks of work and then you get 2 weeks behind in pay and unable to make rent.
By the way, that was Latasha Givens reporting for us. Now, those who are still struggling right now, county officials say there are resources and organizations that can help you out. Fulton County will also be doing its point-in-time count this week. This is going to happen both on Tuesday and Wednesday. Also helping out this effort, the Atlanta City Council is going to meet tomorrow, and they're going to discuss a resolution to help those experiencing chronic homelessness. The council members will consider authorizing a $700,000 donation to the Gateway Center. So the nonprofit actually helps those who are unsheltered with housing and other critical services. And according to the City Council, last year the Gateway Center helped more than 6,800 people. Right now, some Georgia lawmakers want to change the state constitution in order to keep property taxes down. So the proposal would put a cap on taxes that spike because of rising property values. 11Alive's Doug Richards has the details.
Basically, they just keep going up.
Public records show the value of Ann Choi's modest two-bedroom house in DeKalb County jumped 25% the last 10 years. As the value of her home goes up, her property taxes rise proportionally.
This year I anticipate seeing a jump again, and you know.
Because you always do, right?
Yeah, always, unless I've appealed and it's frozen.
Residential property taxes can go up if governments raise millage rates, but they also rise just because property values get higher. A bill at the state capitol would limit those automatic property tax hikes based solely on rising values.
Right. We've had people who've had 40% increases, and the millage rate has not been reduced. It's just been massive tax increases.
Republican Chuck Hufstetler's bill would cap at 3% tax hikes on homes based solely on rising property values.
This is probably going to be most helpful to people, some of the older people in the community that want to stay in their homes but are just really getting taxed out of it.
Choi says she's not entirely sold on the bill, but
Definitely it would be an advantage for someone like me and for a lot of my neighbors, who are the aging in place.
Well, the Senate bill has some Democratic support. It would require a constitutional amendment, which would be put before voters this fall. Police say they need your help right now in tracking down a group of burglars accused of stealing cash from several businesses in Fulton and Gwinnett counties. We first broke this story last week. Roswell police say a group of at least 4 suspects are behind this string of burglaries. They've hit several businesses this month alone, and their stops don't last very long. The break-ins happen early in the morning. The suspects are also linked to other burglaries in Alpharetta, Sandy Springs, in Gwinnett County as well. George Rhodes, who also owns Rose Bakery in Roswell, says the burglars hit his business too.
They're dumb. They smashed in our door. They went straight for the register, but I leave it open all night so they can see we don't have any money. Plus, everything's cashless nowadays.
So, if you can identify these guys on your screen or you have any information about the case, contact Roswell police immediately. Right now, 6 people are facing charges after a contraband bust in the Fulton County Jail, and this includes some employees as well. The sheriff's office says it launched an investigation last month. It found cartons of cigarettes in a food tray on the housing floor. The suspects include a current detention officer, a former inmate, and 4 employees who work for the jail's food service. The sheriff's office says that the network profited at least 6 figures over the course of 1 year. So in a search at the detention officer's home, deputies say that they found 2 firearms, marijuana, a drone, and nearly $5,000 in cash. And we're told the sheriff's office is still investigating and additional charges are still pending. Happening tomorrow, rapper Young Thug and his co-defendants in the YSL RICO trial will be back in the Fulton County courtroom tomorrow. The trial has been paused for more than a week. The judge told the court that it was for the jurors to take some time off. Prosecutors allege that Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, and his co-defendants are members of the Young Slime Life gang, while the defense attorneys argue YSL is simply the name of a record label. Young Stoner Life. We're going to bring you coverage once the trial restarts tomorrow. And right now, here's a live look at the White House as there is a major shakeup in the Republican presidential race. Just hours ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced that he is ending his bid for president. Now, he posted this announcement on X, formerly known as Twitter. DeSantis finished a distant second in last week's Iowa caucus and is polling in single digits in New Hampshire. In a video, he told his supporters that if there was more that he can do on the campaign trail, he would do it. But right now, he does not see a clear path to victory. Listen in.
I am today suspending my campaign. I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance.
By the way, NBC is now reporting that DeSantis is supporting Donald Trump in his campaign for president. He also says that while his campaign for president is ending, he will continue his mission in Florida and show the country how to actually lead.